My name's Eric Gorney, and I'm here on behalf of Bill Graham, who's running for governor of North Carolina. I want to tell you a little bit about Bill. Bill is a moral and fiscal conservative. He's pro-life, he's pro-family, he's pro-marriage amendment to define marriage as between one man, one woman. He's pro-gun, even used to own an ammunition company. He sold the factory to pump prime his campaign. He's pro-zero-based budgeting, and he's pro-taxpayer Bill of Rights. And that's key. With zero-based budgeting, if we were to be able to push that through at the state level, that means you start the state budget at zero and you go through the budget line by line. And all that overlapping, all the waste, that all gets cut out because you have to justify every single line in the budget. And that's key. And then with the taxpayer Bill of Rights, then you restrict that budget to inflation and population growth. Speaking of taxes, many of you may know Bill from signing his petition, StopTheGasTax.com. Bill comes from the grassroots. He comes from being an activist and getting the people involved and actually changing things in Raleigh. An interesting thing too, after StopTheGasTax.com, he started StopIllegalAliens.com. And so, which is interesting because now he just put out his illegal alien plan right here. I've got it here if anyone wants to read it. And that's actually getting national attention now. I know AliPac even put it up on their website, but Red Star, all these different blogs were putting it on. It's getting national attention. It's a great plan. I encourage people to read it. If you can read it here tonight. If you're on TV, you can go to www.graham2008.com and look up the plan. It's a great plan. Now, this is an interesting year. There's actually 5 Republicans running for governor of North Carolina. There's 3 Democrats. Of the 5 Republicans, though, they're pretty close on the issues. There's a couple differences, but they're all pretty close. So what really makes Bill stand out? You know, why should people vote for Bill? I believe it comes down to leadership. Let me explain why. Bill was able to take an issue, the gas tax, and he exposed that issue, and then he united the people behind that issue. And then he turned that issue into a movement. Then Bill, as the leader of that movement, collected 75,000 signatures, and he actually printed them off, and he had them carried into the General Assembly, and he put them on Jim Black's desk. Back then, Jim Black was the Speaker of the House, and he said, cap the tax or we're going to march on Raleigh. You know, and then he guided it through the General Assembly and met with the governor, guided it through the governor, and we got a cap on our gas tax because of his leadership. And what was the result of that? To date in April, it has saved us $200 million. He's actually the only candidate running for governor right now that's already saved you money. And I think that is what is key about Bill Graham. He has proven he can form a bully pulpit, and he's proven that he can unite the people. It wasn't just Republicans that signed those petitions, but because he also did StopIllegalAliens.com. He collected 45,000 signatures with that one and helped force the General Assembly to require a Social Security number to get a driver's license, to start weeding out the illegal aliens. So he was able to do this. He's able to unite the people, though, and I think that's key, because that's the theme of his his whole campaign is we, because he believes that only if the people come together, will we change things in Raleigh. Because Raleigh isn't going to change right now. If Bill had just come up and gone to Raleigh and said, hey, will you introduce a bill for me about, you know, a legislation bill, introduce that for me about capping the gas tax, nothing would have happened. That good old boy system would just massage it and kill it. It is only because he can get the people involved that we have a cap on our gas tax. Because he can get the people involved that we're starting to restrict those driver's licenses. That's why I think that it's key to elect Bill Graham. Because Bill's going to take this bully pulpit and he's going to reduce our taxes. As I said, he's going to use that bully pulpit with the people to push through the zero-based budgeting taxpayer Bill of Rights. He's going to improve our education by getting rid of the bureaucracy and basically sending it down to local control. We have an elected school board in every county. Every school district has an elected school board. They don't have any authority. He wants to put that authority back with elected officials who are accountable. He wants to protect our trust funds, like the Highway Trust Fund. Speaking of the gas tax, we've got this huge trust fund that is continually being robbed by the General Assembly and the governor. We need to protect those trust funds. Now 1/3 of the bridges in North Carolina don't meet DOT standards. That means that we're the next, remember in Minnesota when that bridge collapsed a couple of years ago? We're the next state in line to have that happen. We are in that state right now. And they continue, even last year, the year that they had a $2 billion surplus at the state, they still took money out of that trust fund. $2 billion surplus, they still took money out of the trust fund. So I really want to stress again, he is the leader to address these issues. He's proven it. He's the only one proven statewide grassroots experience to get the people involved to reform things in Raleigh. So I encourage you, for those here, read the flyer. For those on TV, go to graham2008.com. Learn all you can about the candidates. I encourage you to seek out the other candidates, read their issues, and compare. Because I think if you compare the candidates, you will come to the conclusion that Bill Graham is the best for North Carolina. Again, I really encourage you to study up on him. And I encourage you to vote for Bill Graham on May 6th. Thank you.